I've been wanting to transform a piece of furniture with some bright poppy paint for a long time. I needed a way to organize my mail. It always ended up on the kitchen counter, on the kitchen table, and was just a mess. The great thing about secretaries is they're amazing for small spaces. You can literally just hide everything away when you don't want it to be seen. First step, remove all the hardware. You can paint around it, but just trust me, remove it. Second step, clean your furniture. Now this depends if you're gonna sand it or not, but you still wanna clean it. I use TSP, super chemically, but it works really well. It just kind of degreases everything, and I just sort of clean my furniture, takes all the gunk off and gets it really ready to paint. I opted to sand this time. You can see I don't do crazy jobs, just enough to kind of rough it up. And the reason that I did it on this one is because this thing had so many kind of layers of paint on it, and the last paint job that went on it wasn't the best paint job in the world, so there were definitely a few drips that I didn't want. So once I removed that old gunky hardware, I just kind of sanded it to make all those things level, kind of smooth, and I just gave it a quick little once over. I personally love spray paint. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I don't like cleaning brushes, but I adore it. I bought Rustoleum spray paint gloss with primer built in Seaside, which was a really fun kind of turquoise color. So I just kind of went for it and just started spraying. Now the key with spray paint is there pretty much is only one way to do it wrong. Well, there's two ways to do it wrong. One is to get up super close. You want to at least have, I would say, 12 inches or something. And the second rule is, which I always think I can get away with, but I cannot, and no one can, and this is the only way really to mess up spray painting, is to get greedy, okay? It is when you get in there and you're like, this is looking so good, oh my gosh, it looks so good, it looks so good, and you just don't want to stop, but you kind of keep going over the same area, and while it starts to look really good, then all of a sudden you start getting a drip. And that's the worst. You want to think in thin, light layers. So you just kind of do it once, okay, it's not covered, whatever. You let that dry for a few minutes and you come back, you do it again. Okay, come back and do it again. I tend to get crazy and want to just do it anyway. So when I do get a little drip, I literally just take my hand and wipe it. And what you get is hands with stuff all over them. And then I just do a light layer over it. And for my spray paint, I use a little handle. It's a trigger handle because you don't think about it, but it hurts. You don't realize it, but you're there with your finger, and then your finger just starts kind of going numb, and you're like, ah. But you put that trigger on, and you're just like, uh-huh. Plus, I think it gives really good even control, which is really nice for application. So this time what I did was a little bit different, which was really fun. I took Lacquer spray, which is just a clear lacquer spray paint that I got. Now this is sticky, so this one you really want to do in thin, light layers because it starts getting gooey. Spray paint, you can wipe it. With lacquer, you cannot. It's kind of like glue. But it's really cool and lends sort of an air of shiny. I don't know, I love shiny. Crazy for shiny. Make sure you completely let each piece dry. Again, I tend to get a little greedy and it's not quite dry and I'm moving it around with my hands and it gets little fingerprints, so it actually makes your job harder. So what you need to plan for is thin, small applications. Truthfully, it's the quicker way to do it anyway. Give it 15 minutes between each application, go back and you will be stoked. All right, as for my hardware, one of the best ways to clean vintage brass hardware is ammonia. Just straight up ammonia. You put it in there and you can kind of scrub it off a little bit, gently without using a wire brush or anything. I didn't have any ammonia, but I had Windex, so I decided to use that. Put it in a little bowl. I took it out and I used Brasso, which is a brass polisher, and polished them up so they gave them a little bit of that luster that kind of came back to it. Put them back on and decorated my little secretary. Now I have the cutest way to organize my build. Open it up, can go through everything if I want to, can put everything away. I'm just really excited to be organized. I love having places for everything to go. I saw this on Oprah when I was a child and I don't even know who said it. For some reason it always stuck in my head. Your house should never take longer than 15 minutes to sort of tidy up because everything should have a space. And if everything's organized and has a space, it takes you no time to clean up because you know where to put it back. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you always. Remember to like, to subscribe for more, and let me know what y'all think. Alright, I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.